Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal has stated, Mr. Saurabh, in Parliament that India is the fastest growing major economy in the world and is set to be the third largest economy in the world in a few years. He also spoke of how India has signed mutually beneficial trade deals with a number of countries. Would you agree that this self-confident yet open approach is the right way for India to proceed in the trade talks with the US?
Well, absolutely. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, it's a new India, it's a strident India, which is not only a major global economy, but it's a robust economy. So anybody who says India is a fragile economy does not know the basic facts, because factual position is that Indian economy today is being not only boosting confidence of the investors, but also major global companies. You see the investment coming from the US companies itself. So that's a manifestation of it. And I think the misinformation that is being spread about India's being a fragile economy, this is misplaced. And I hope better sense prevails. And, I'm confident that we will be able to tide over some of these hiccups, which I call in the trade deals that we are having.
Okay, despite US pressure, the Indian government has been firm on not opening up its agricultural and dairy sectors. Would you agree that this is the correct response to the US demands?
Absolutely. Every country works is in national interest. There is a national interest that the United States takes its own concern. India has taken its own national interest. But as good friends, I can tell you, India and the US have a very strong bilateral relationship, which has been painstakingly built under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership. And I'm confident that India will continue to defend its national interests. And wherever there is room for negotiation, we will be able to, overcome those differences with other countries, and we will come forward. You have to, as friends, you have to agree to disagree and have to defend your national interests.
Okay, also more broadly, would you say that the Indian government's aim, quite rightly, is to secure a beneficial agreement rather than a hurried deal that gives short-term benefit but may result in adverse consequences in the long term?
Absolutely. I can tell you that, I was there when Prime Minister visited, US in February. He had a talk with US President Donald Trump. And the whole idea was that they will do a whole deal by the fall of 2025. And the fact that the negotiators went for intensive negotiation, the reason was because India dug its heels, not compromising on our core national interests, which has been the mantra that has been guiding our negotiators. And I hope that we will be able to find a middle ground solution here.
Okay, unlike China, India is not a majorly export-dependent economy. How far does that work in India's favor in the current negotiations with the US, which of course are not yet over?
Well, it does. Absolutely, you're right. That, we have, our economy is multifaceted. We are not dependent on exports alone, but we also have a plan B in place. Like every country, I do know, and I don't want to spell it out in public domain yet, but I do know that India is strategically working on a plan B in place, which is there along with other countries, and India will make sure that its core national interests are kept at the center of any of these policies. And also, we will make sure that our consumers, our farmers, their interests will never be compromised.
Okay, ultimately, over the next few weeks or months, do you see India-US talks coming to a satisfactory conclusion from both countries' point of view?
Absolutely. I think, I can tell you that there is a lot of understanding between the two countries, and contrary to, and as friends, sometimes some statements come out. It happens in families, it happens with friends, but I'm confident that under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we will be able to send a strong message, yet some kind of a middle ground solution can be found. Otherwise, as friends, we also agree to disagree, as I said earlier.
Okay, so you are saying that the trust remains and we'll be able to finalize the trade deal soon.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Saurabh Shukla, for being on Daily India News.